If you poll Americans, 70% of Americans think that the U.S. needs tighter border security before or at the same time as immigration reform. Well, the last poll that was done was 6 months ago.
Okay, fine. So, that's right now in surveillance.
Okay. So people don't realize that the border has dramatically transformed since the last time the country debated immigration in 2007. At that time, you had record numbers of people flooding the border. You had 858,000 people that were caught by Border Patrol. Now the number is less than half that. Migration from Mexico is at a standstill, and we've poured more resources. The Obama administration has poured more resources into the border than any of his predecessors. So it's a very different border, and it might be as secure as it's going to get.
The numbers are certainly surprising, but I know you spoke to 1 million people in working on this article, including some of the cartels. Give us some color.
Well, one of the things that I wrote about was that since we've put so much new enforcement on the border, triple fences, 10 drones, we've moved. The face of migration is very different than it was 6 years ago. Now people are crossing through much more dangerous parts of the border, and because of the expansion of the drug war in Mexico, cartels control that area, and so the smuggling game has changed. As people say, there are no longer any more like mom and pop smugglers. The cartels are very in the game, and it's very dangerous.
And Ralph, this comes to the politics and with your public service as well. Ralph Schlosstein with us from Evercore Partners. And Elizabeth, I look at this and there's a quiet single sentence in your article which says, forget about the border, they're coming in through JFK. I mean, this is politically dynamic now, isn't it?
Well, I think there's more than the border element to controlling immigration. We have people who come in here with visas that are temporary, and we don't do a particularly good job of following them and making sure when...
Is that what your reporting is?
Yeah, well, that's the big picture, is that if we are, we're spending billions of dollars on the border, but without figuring out how many workers the country needs and how those employers can get workers, we're not dealing with the demand.
I mean, there's two. There's your PhD debate, and then there's throw them out debate.
Well, there's the humanitarian aspect of throw them out, which we know we will never do. But there is also, workers who are not necessarily, PhDs or the elite who come into this country on a temporary basis. We don't really track them because we have very strong laws about civil liberties.
Sure.
And many of them overstay their welcome. So many of the people who are here so-called illegally today came in legally.